Welcome back to another Helldivers 2 video. My name is Dashbull, and in today's video we'll be revisiting the primary weapons after the .400 update and placing the weapons into a tier list. Now, I've broken the categories down a little different this time. Top tier being your Chef's Kiss.
So good and tasty.
Then our Utility King / Queen.
Oh, king in the castle, king in the castle.
Our Chef Clear with decent ammo. They work.
I mean, it's alright, like...
It's a weapon.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
And lastly, Hellpod Footlocker.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
We're going to start at the assault rifles this go around. The AR Tech 2-3 Liberator is the only primary that is given to you as a Helldiver. Nothing much to write about this one in terms of damage. However, the highlight of this weapon is how it'll teach you how to cycle through your scope ranges, your firing modes, and your flashlight. Liberator falls into the It's a Weapon tier. The AR Tech 2-3P Liberator Penetrator, medium armor, so you're able to get through your hive guards, your bottle spewers, but in terms of its damage of 45, I would personally leave this thing on auto. As the damage output tickles even the smallest of bugs, Lip Pen also falls into the It's a Weapon tier. The AR Tech 2-3C Liberator Concussive. It has stagger, but even after its damage update, it still, in my opinion, tickles the weakest enemies again, and its fire rate is abysmal compared to the other assault weapons. Bump up the fire rate, and maybe we'll have a weapon that is fun to use. For now, Hellpod Footlocker for the Lip Concussive. The AR Tech 2-3A Liberator Carbine. Now we're talking. With its fire rate of 920 and damage output of 60, this weapon chews through targets at close range. Switch to semi or burst if you'd like to conserve ammo. I personally like semi. Bump up to full auto versus hordes when shooting a charger butt or brute commander head. Liberator Carbine falls into the Chaff Clear with decent ammo tier. The AR Tech 6-1 Tenderizer, another great weapon with its whopping damage of 95, you'll be able to chew through targets at both close quarters and distant ranges. Chaff Clear with decent ammo for the AR Tech 6-1 Tenderizer. The BR Tech 1-4 Adjudicator. This assault rifle feels pretty good in my opinion after the update to its recoil. You can switch the firing mode, which makes it more into like a marksman rifle. It's medium armor pen, so it'll allow you to chew through those tougher targets such as your hive guards. Try using this thing, I think you'll like it too. Chaff Clear with decent ammo tier for the Adjudicator. Moving on to the marksman rifles, the R-Tech 6-3 Diligence is a decent marksman rifle. With its ammo capacity of 20 and damage output of 125, you're often taking out your Devastators with 2 well-placed headshots. I still wish the damage was a bit higher, but I do enjoy its ergonomics when firing this thing at close range, and additionally the scope and damage are respectable when playing at range. Chaff Clear with decent ammo tier for the Diligence. The R-Tech 6-3 CS Diligence Counter Sniper. Same as the regular Diligence, but with a reduced fire rate, but it has medium armor penetrating rounds. This thing is super fun to use. You can one-shot headshot Devastators and destroy their limbs. I take this thing often as I love playing at range. Utility King / Queen tier for the Counter Sniper. Moving on to our SMGs, the SMG Tech 3-7 Defender. Solid SMG with a higher damage and fire rate than its hotter cousin, the Pummeler. Also, it's one-handed, letting you carry data drives or ballistic shields along with it. Chaff Clear with decent ammo for the Defender. The SMG Tech 7-2 Pummeler. Great weapon and has the ability to stagger enemies. It's also one-handed, so you're able to carry data drives and ballistic shields again, and it has a decent fire rate and damage output. And also, I just love the way this thing sounds. Utility King / Queen tier for the Pummeler. The MP Tech 9-8 Knight.
I'm vengeance.
Hellpod Footlocker. I don't have it, I can't judge it, so this is where it'll stay for me. Up next is our shotgun category, the SG Tech 8 Punisher. This shotgun is an early pickup for the beginning Helldiver. It's a fantastic choice as you're able to stagger enemies and take down Devastators with ease. What this weapon lacks, however, is range and damage output against waves of enemies, as it is a pump action weapon. I still think this is a solid choice at higher difficulties. Utility King / Queen tier for the Punisher. The SG Tech 8S Slugger. Now this weapon used to be a solid pick, but with its stagger removal as well as the removal of opening blast doors with its medium armor pen, It just feels bad, because I knew what it once was. I was really hoping to have the old Slugger back after patch 0.400. Hopefully it will eventually. For now, they worked here for the Slugger. The standard SG TAC 225 Breaker. Fun to shoot, but not for long, with its magazine size of 13. I cannot justify using this over other weapons, as this weapon is just good for chaff clear but lacks the ammunition to sustain its damage output. They worked here for the Breaker. The SG TAC 225 SP Breaker Spray and Pray. Better than the standard Breaker in terms of magazine size, as it's 26, however its damage of 192 is a noticeable downgrade to all the other shotguns when facing your hordes of enemies. They worked here for the Spray and Pray. The SG TAC 225 IE Breaker Incendiary. This is the best primary against bugs in terms of damage output. No other weapon has the same crowd control capabilities against the chaff that the Breaker Incendiary has, as you can melt bugs at range, such as your Shriekers, and move on. Some user complaints is that its damage to heavier targets isn't as high as other weapons, but I would argue that that user does not understand the concept of damage over time. Chef's Kiss tier for the Breaker Incendiary. Moving on to our explosive weapons, the CB Tech 9 Exploding Crossbow. Amazing utility weapon. Much wow, seriously try this thing out if you haven't yet. With its decent fire rate, you can take out nests and fabricators at speeds close to the autocannon special weapon. With its medium armor pen, you're able to take out hive guards and commanders with ease. This is by far my favorite updated weapon this patch, Utility King / Queen for the Exploding Crossbow. The JAR Tech 5 Dominator. This is still the best primary against bots, and I cannot be convinced otherwise. With its medium armor penetration capabilities, you can one-shot headshot Devastators, take down your Striders, or even your Factory Striders when shooting the underbelly. Chef's Kiss for the Dominator. The R-Tech 36 Eruptor, another fantastic explosive weapon. It has the utility of taking out your objectives such as your bot fabricators and bug holes. It is the only primary that can take down your illegal broadcasts, and its damage got buffed from 420 to 570. Land you 3-shot butt shot chargers. Utility King / Queen tier for the Eruptor. Moving on to our energy weapons, the SG Tech 8P Punisher Plasma. This weapon is fantastic versus bots or bugs. The only drawback is the fact that you have to angle your shots. But with some practice, you'll be taking out your medium enemies as well as your hordes of enemies with ease. Utility King / Queen tier for the Punisher Plasma. The ARC Tech 12 Blitzer, another fine weapon with unlimited ammunition. Works great against the bugs and staggers. When hipfire, you're able to take down your hordes of enemies. When aimed, you can one-shot headshot a Brood Commander. The downside of this weapon lies in its fire rate sometimes. The targeting can get weird when there's a bunch of dead bug bodies around on the ground in front of you. Be more cautious when using this in a group. If all users aren't wearing the Arc Resist armor, Utility King / Queen tier for the Blitzer. The LAS Tech 5 Scythe. Not a bad choice. It has decent damage, and it utilizes the heat mechanic, allowing you to have unlimited ammo if you're conscious about the heat bar. Also, it fires a constant beam. This is a pretty good weapon at taking out Devastators with a well-aimed headshot. However, I find the weapon scope on the Scythe to be one of the worst. Chaff clear with decent ammo tier for the Scythe. The LAS Tech 16 Sickle. This energy weapon has pinpoint accuracy, has decent damage, and if you keep a keen eye on the heat mechanic again, you'll never run out of ammo. This weapon is a solid primary choice, chaff clear with decent ammo tier for the Sickle. The Plastech 1 Scorcher, another great weapon against the bots or bugs. With its explosive trait, you can get through your enemies, such as your Striders. Only drawback of this weapon is its small magazine size. You'll find yourself scavenging for ammo frequently when using this weapon. Utility King / Queen tier for the Scorcher. Last, and certainly least on our list, is the Plastech 101 Purifier. This weapon is flaming hot trash. It can purify nothing. Its weapon traits are medium armor penetrating, and it utilizes a charge mechanic. Now the Scorcher just does exactly what the Purifier can do, but just better. There's no gimmick to get it to work. There's no use in using the Purifier, as the Scorcher can put way more bullets down range before the Purifier can get one round off. This weapon should be locked in your Hell Pod foot locker. Seriously, who the hell made this? And that's going to do it for the video. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my tier list. What is your favorite weapon you've been using since patch 0.400? Don't forget to leave a like, as all the democratic footage does take a bit of time to compile. If you want to know when I go live on Twitch, you can join my public Discord. I go live most days, but consistently on Wednesdays through Fridays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Consider subscribing for more Helldivers 2 content. Thanks again, see you in the next one, and take care, everybody.
Mmm, so good and tasty.